think our next section, Kristen, we were going to jump into demo so that we could see kind of the behind the scenes of UKG Pro Employee Voice, formerly known as Perceptions, right? I have a hard time changing it, but yeah, it's the product that used to be called Perceptions. And so I'm going to stop sharing my screen if you want to jump on and share yours. We're good.
Perfect. Okay, wonderful. So I am going to show you our survey, and this is within employee voice. I almost said employee engagement. Sorry about that. And what is really interesting about this is you can create this to look pretty much however you want. As you can see, it is branded with Mosaic. We have our intro in there. It changes from good morning to good afternoon, depending on when that person opens that survey, which is pretty neat. I have different tabs open just for the sake of showing it to you today. And it is on my second screen, so forgive me, I'm going to look this way here as I'm navigating it with you. So this is the welcome, this is the opener. You can pick your colors, you can put in your logo, you can change the logo by screen if that's what you want to do. But for a team member, they will be able to see this as soon as they click the link. When you set up your survey, you get to choose when it blasts out as well. And you can also set up reminders. And what's nice about the reminders, it only reminds people that haven't taken the survey, which is nice. So you can set all that up in advance, but this is what your employees sees once they click on that link and have access. So they'll get a nice welcome. Again, you can decide what exactly it says. This is what we do, and choose to say. Once they press that begin button, it then takes them to the questions. Right. So we have ours split up onto 3 different pages, which you can see down here at the bottom. It's into 3 different sections, if you will. We broke it out just to make sure that it felt like they were moving through it and it didn't last forever, right? Even though it's just 16 questions. So we have 7 questions, and they're not necessarily in a particular order. In fact, we kind of sprinkle them in, if you will, within that magic. So as you walk through it, and again, I'm just scrolling here so you can kind of see what we have done with it. So I have 7 questions on that first section, including the value add question, which does play into engagement, but essentially it's letting you know out of these ranking questions, again, you'll have access to this in the resource tool that Scott and Ceci have provided you. Once you go to that next section, once again, we have 7 questions split up here. People are able to navigate between the answers there: strongly agree, moderate, all the way to strongly disagree. And the system is just collecting that information. So you can see I'm on section 2. Once they press next, they get the final section. And this is where we do ask our ENPS question specific to, do you recommend the company, if you will, to a qualified team member? This is a true net promoter score rating. So you do see that 0 to 10. Even when you set this question up in the survey, you're specifically saying it's a net promoter score. Net promoter can be a positive 100 or a negative 100. So it's important for the system to know that. And then lastly, we do have that open text field, neutral question, feedback is a gift. Is there anything that you would like to share with us? We have all of our questions, with the exception of the last one, as required. So the team members are going through that survey. This last one is truly, it's exactly what it says. It's a gift. Usually we have around, I would say anywhere from 40 to 50% people provide feedback in this section, where again, anybody who participates in the survey has answered the others. Okay, so once you get done with your survey, which you can check on those responses, you can see the participation rate as you're walking through that survey time period. But let's fast forward as if your survey now is complete. And once
just a quick note, Kristen, I was just thinking that might be worth mentioning that the feedback is a gift line is something that we've used at Mosaic a lot. So feedback is a gift isn't the very first time that people are going to hear that, because we talk about that with client feedback and employee feedback. So it's an opportunity for you to insert your company's voice into the survey. This can really be catered to make sure that it sounds like it's coming from you.
Yes. Love it. Yeah, I get so used to saying that I forget it's internal. Wonderful. So here is a report. You can build reports to be super robust. You can build reports specific to the audience as well. So this is an example, and I am saying example here because You will see when I look at the heat map, I don't have my manager names listed. I have their IDs listed just to be able to share those results with you today. But you can build these reports. So I have my HR report that tells me everything I could ever want to know. I then will summarize, if you will, or select some very specific things at a higher level to give to my leadership. I will then have a report that goes out to every manager so that they can see the results as long as they have 4 people in their team who have taken it, right? And I also have one general that then also gives that full summary, which is a summary page I'm about to show you here, that goes out to our entire team so that they themselves as well can see what this looks like. And we provide this visibility in our all hands meeting to our entire company to show them the results, which is always exciting. So you will see here, we have our participation rate. This is our survey that we just did in April of this year. You will see we have that high participation rate, so close to 90, almost going to count it there. And then as we get into our engagement score, you will see everything's broken out, but here is my overall engagement score. What's really cool about the system is they have this nice little, map, if you will, going all the way from that red to the green so that you can have a good indication, is this a good or not so great score? And so for our engagement, we are up to 84%, which is absolutely awesome. I'm going to show you a little bit of the history here in just a second to really make an example of how taking what you've learned today, putting it into action can really move results for your team. So you'll see there's a summary there, meaning, autonomy, growth, impact, connection. We also have our satisfaction score and our ENPS. And it also brings in the values that you just saw that question, what are the values? What's interesting about our team is those top 3 usually don't change much. Maybe number 3 and 4 will kind of flip flop a little bit, but meaningful work, comp, benefits, my team, my manager, leadership, and vision. I don't think the top 5 have ever changed in our surveys over 2 years. It also will give you your highs and your lows. And what's been really interesting is to watch. Our low list used to be fairly extensive, and we have flipped a good portion, if not almost all of them, over to the highs. You will see here, I can press and there's even more. You can keep going, see more. But then we also have our focus areas, and you can see that's what it's called. We got our hoorays and we have our focus areas. So for instance, this is one that we will be really focusing on over the next 30, 60, 90, and that is tools and resources to do my job. So now I've got to go back to the team to say, what does that look like? What are the tools, resources that would make you more successful here at Mosaic, and how can we help move that along? And so I have some more homework to do there. This one here, clear objectives to measure my success. What's interesting about that one is we already have a good foundation. We've been working on this one a little bit longer, and now it's about taking it and really moving it forward and making sure that the team hears that communication. We just got done with performance management. This is what success looks like in your role, and making sure they have the tools to be able to see where they measure up at any point in time. Okay, so those are our focus areas. And again, we have many things to celebrate, which is exciting. And then I love this about the tool. It helps you to start thinking through, where do I need to focus? How do I need to, select those focus areas? Because realistically, if you try concentrating on, more than 3, you're going to feel stretched. So I always recommend to stick to your top 3 to see where you can move, be able to give it all of your attention to move it. And then again, to make that plan. And last thing I'm going to show you here is the heat map. I just think this is so interesting. And this is a great example. So here are all my managers by number, just to protect even their information, right? And what this is telling me is, man, we've got some managers who have done a phenomenal job with their team and making sure they understand how they're connected to the bigger picture, how they can grow, where they want to grow, where their development is going to continue to move, making sure they feel connected. Again, 100% of our team is virtual, so that is also a big deal. Well, also what it does is it tells me I need to focus in on this manager and figure out what's going on. Now, I know exactly who that is on our team, and I know we just had a change with this team, and I'm already starting to see some improvement there. But again, if you don't have a name to it, which I know you do not at the moment, right? This tells you that, man, if I can help this team out and understand how I can help, again, focus in on their growth, figure out what is going on when it comes to their engagement, that's how, once again, I can not only impact those individuals, but then the bigger organization as well. So we look at this in many different ways. I will look at it based off of tenure, their salary band, age band, even position. We even on our results will blow this out by department and just see, because you may have multiple managers in one department as well, right? So you can see that bigger organizational level as well. So I highly recommend for you to go through and look. Last thing I'm going to show you here is this statistical significance. And so I'm going to toggle that. And what's really cool is it shows you exactly like what's really amazing. Where are some of those areas that are a major point? And again, major focus area for you to look at. So as you drill down and look deeper into this, because there is a detail page, which is unfortunately, you're not going to have enough time to go line by line here, but in that detail page, you'll start breaking out those questions and telling you where to focus. It also will talk to you about the emotional the emotional net promoter score, which then will also talk about themes. So when you click on that, it literally says cross-team communication, comp and benefits. It's going to literally pull some of the themes out that have been written. Transparent communication shows up in ours because, again, we've had a focus on that transparent communication within our team over the last 2 years, and people are recognizing it and they're mentioning it. And so those details that are available to you as an HR professional are just amazing, right?